Hi, I'm Margie Neuhaus. I'm at the Garage Art Center in Bayside, Queens for my show Lineaments that's on view. I'm showing a series of drawings, weavings, sculptures, and books. All the work is connected by line, and I'm exploring ideas of process, material, time, through line. All the work is connected in that way. So I have a series of drawings that I've been doing over the past year, working with a graphite media that is water soluble. And so after making the marks with the graphite pencil, I'm working with a brush dipped in water. And I'm interested in variations of trace and mark and time and fragility that's explored through the materiality of it. Some are governed by a sense of structure and time that I set down. Others are made immediately after kind of completing a drawing that explored a particular idea. Some of the lines are influenced by those found in nature, others by the built environment, and others are found through the process of drawing. And drawing allows me to experiment, and so working on something small allows one to focus and experiment and explore and try things. So this is a weaving that I made, and it's done on a small loom, working with silk wrapped around linen paper. And the warp on the right is continuous, and the warp on the left is made by tying bits and pieces together. I'm exploring order and chance. You know, this one I'm emphasizing the way that the bits and pieces of string are tied together by not cutting off the places where they're tied. And I also love the drawn line quality that happens and the gesture of the line through the chance connection and the freedom that it's allowed. So kind of order and freedom within a structure. I'm interested in the physicality of line and how line moves through space. With these works, I have a metal wire line that weaves through the paper, and it's also how it structurally attaches to the wall. With this piece, I have a linen thread that holds a very set grid, but it also shows the variation and deformation of the grid. And within that, there is a silk tussa material that is woven through, and it's both strong and vulnerable. It calls out for us to touch it. You know, we want to touch it because it's shiny and soft, and to feel that difference between the matte quality of the linen against the alluring quality of the silk tussa. These are two scrolls that I wove on a 4-harness loom. The one on the wall is titled Incident Riffs, and I'm working, with the order that I set up with the warp and playing off a random mark making or an intuitive mark making that I'm making with the different materials of thread that's woven in. Some are a wool and others are cotton and various materials. And I'm interested in the hand gesture against the order of the warp. This scroll, Into the Fray, is also made on a 4-harness loom, and in a way it's an abstract narrative, as the other one is, working with a variety of materials and different systems. I wove in abaca paper while it was wet that is, held together in the warp as it dries, and it allows for shrinkage and movement that is revealed to the viewer. I also tied lines to attach a new system to an existing warp, and I'm very much interested in showing the juncture of one system transitioning to another system. And the new warp, I pulled some of the warp thread to allow individual looseness and variation within the loom, within the warp. Then I wove in a wool material that I felted. So it's allowing for variation in the structure, but that it's also very stable. And I'm interested in the metaphors that are associated with that and kind of establishing systems that have both a structure and a looseness and allowing for individual mark making. Okay, this book, titled Threaded Connections, allows for viewers to interact with the work. I'm hoping that the work slows viewers down to explore the meditative quality and the way that the line moves through time. And the thread navigates its way through the book, and the thread that ties the pages together weaves through the pages. I'm interested in how we get a hint of the line that's coming and see the thread through the other pages. And each time you look at it, it's slightly different in how the thread moves. This book, Drawn Connections, is done with ink lines on trace paper vellum, and the individual marks are connected, as you can see, through the layers below. And the lines that are further back on the pages, closer to the back of the book, are lighter than the ones that are closer. And again, there's a sense of time and space that's revealed.